The forest stood imposing and ancient. A dense canopy of leaves choked out the moonlight, casting long, eerie shadows. The air hung heavy with the smell of damp earth and decaying leaves. A strange silence permeated the woods, broken only by the occasional snap of a twig. This was no ordinary forest. This was a place where darkness had a life of its own, where ancient secrets whispered among the trees. And tonight, the forest was awake. The group of friends huddled around the crackling campfire. Their laughter and conversation did little to penetrate the oppressive silence of the woods. They were seasoned campers, drawn to the thrill of the unknown. But tonight, something felt different. There was an edge to their laughter, a nervousness in their eyes. The forest had a way of doing that, of stripping away the veneer of civilization and exposing the raw fear beneath. As the night deepened, the temperature dropped. A cold wind rustled the leaves, sending shivers down their spines. It was then they noticed them. Strange lights flickered in the distance like fireflies dancing in the darkness. At first they dismissed them as just that, fireflies. But these lights were different. They moved with a strange, almost intelligent purpose, and they were getting closer. Curiosity warred with fear as the lights drew nearer. They pulsed with an eerie, otherworldly glow, a silent invitation into the heart of the unknown. One by one, the friends fell silent, their gazes drawn to the mesmerizing dance of light and shadow. The forest held its breath, watching, waiting. This was no ordinary night in the woods. This was something far more sinister. Section 5. Deeper into the unknowing. Against their better judgment, the group decided to investigate. They had heard the stories, the legends of the forest that swallowed people whole, never to be seen again. Yet curiosity and a sense of adventure pushed them forward. They gathered their courage, armed with only flashlights and each other's company, and made the fateful decision to step into the darkness. Drawn by an unseen force, they ventured deeper into the forest, following the lights. These lights were not ordinary. They flickered and danced, almost as if they were alive, leading the group further into the heart of the forest. The deeper they went, the more they felt the forest's ancient energy, a presence that seemed to watch their every move. The air grew colder, the shadows deeper. Every breath they took was visible in the frigid air, and the silence was deafening. The only sounds were the crunching of leaves underfoot and the occasional rustle of unseen creatures. The forest seemed to be alive, its shadows stretching and shifting, creating an eerie, almost supernatural atmosphere. The forest seemed to press in on them, suffocating them with its ancient presence. The trees, tall and imposing, formed a nearly impenetrable wall around them. It was as if the forest itself was trying to trap them, to keep them from ever finding their way out. The sense of foreboding grew with each step, but they pressed on, driven by a mix of fear and determination. Each step took them further from the familiar, deeper into the clutches of the unknown. The path they had once known was long gone, replaced by a labyrinth of trees and shadows. They were now in uncharted territory, where every direction looked the same, and the way back seemed impossible to find. The forest had a way of disorienting them, making them question their every move. The lights, their only guide, beckoned them forward, promising answers and threatening oblivion. These lights were both a beacon of hope and a harbinger of doom. They seemed to whisper secrets, urging the group to follow, to uncover the mysteries that lay ahead. But with each step, the line between reality and illusion blurred, and the group couldn't shake the feeling that they were being led into a trap. The forest held its breath, waiting to reveal its secrets or to consume them entirely. Section 6. The forest holds its breath. The forest floor was littered with decaying leaves and fallen branches. Each step was treacherous, the silence broken only by their own ragged breaths. The lights led them to a clearing, a small, forgotten space in the heart of the woods. The air here felt different, heavier, as if an unseen presence watched their every move. Fear, primal and consuming, tightened its grip on their hearts. Section 7, a glimpse behind the veil. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient oak, its gnarled branches reaching towards the sky like skeletal fingers, and there, suspended in midair, were the lights, no longer flickering but glowing with an intense, otherworldly radiance. They weren't fireflies, they weren't lanterns, they were something else entirely. Something ancient and powerful, something that defied explanation. Section 8, frozen by fear. As they watched in horrified fascination, the lights began to swirl faster and faster, forming a vortex of blinding light. The air crackled with energy, the very fabric of reality seeming to warp and twist around them. Terror rooted them to the spot, their minds struggling to comprehend the scene unfolding before them. This was a power beyond human understanding, a power that could consume them entirely. Section 9. The screams that followed them home. It was a night like no other, a night that would forever be etched in their memories. The forest was alive with the sounds of nocturnal creatures, the rustling of leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. But as the clock struck midnight, an unsettling silence fell over the woods. Then, as quickly as it began, it was over. The darkness seemed to swallow the forest whole, leaving no trace of the vibrant life that had been there moments before. The friends, who had been exploring the woods, found themselves enveloped in an impenetrable blackness. The lights vanished, leaving behind an eerie silence. It was as if the forest itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. The friends could feel the weight of the darkness pressing down on them, making it hard to breathe. The clearing was empty, the ancient oak standing guard over its sequels. The tree, with its gnarled branches and thick trunk, seemed to be watching them, its presence both comforting and menacing. It was a silent witness to the events that had transpired, and those that were yet to come. Shaken and disoriented, the friends stumbled back the way they had come, their minds racing, their hearts pounding. They could hear the echoes of their own footsteps, the crunch of leaves underfoot, and the occasional snap of a twig. Every sound seemed amplified in the oppressive silence. They never spoke of what they had seen that night. The terror they had experienced was too raw, too real. It was as if speaking about it would give it power, would make it real all over again. So they kept their silence, each one haunted by their own memories, but the memory lingered, a haunting reminder of the darkness that lurked just beyond the edge of the firelight. The flickering flames cast long shadows, and in those shadows they could almost see the shapes of the things that had chased them. The forest, once a place of adventure and excitement, had become a place of fear and dread. And though they tried to forget, the screams that followed them home would never truly fade away. Section 10, a haunting reminder. The forest had given them a glimpse behind the veil, a glimpse into a world that was both fascinating and terrifying. It was a place where the ordinary laws of nature seemed to bend and twist, where shadows moved with a life of their own, and whispers carried secrets that were never meant to be heard. It was a taste of the unknown, a fleeting encounter with the mysteries that lie just beyond the edge of our understanding. The forest was alive with an energy that was both alluring and repellent, drawing them in even as it pushed them away. And it had marked them, changed them. The experience had left an indelible imprint on their souls, a haunting reminder of the thin line between the known and the unknown. They could feel it in the way their hearts raced at the slightest rustle of leaves, in the way their breath caught in their throats at the sight of a shadow moving in the corner of their eyes. They returned to their lives, but they were not the same. The forest had become a part of them, a silent companion that followed them wherever they went. It was there in the background, a constant presence that they could never quite shake off. In their dreams, in the shadows, in the silence between heartbeats, the forest lingered. It was a reminder of the fragility of their reality, of the thin veil that separated their world from the unknown. They could feel its presence in the quiet moments, in the stillness of the night, in the spaces where the light did not reach. In the silence between heartbeats, they could hear the forest calling to them, whispering secrets that they could never fully understand. It was a call that they could not ignore, a pull that they could not resist. The forest had become a part of them, a haunting reminder of the mysteries that lay just beyond the edge of their understanding. The forest had shown them that some things are best left undisturbed. It had revealed the dangers of curiosity, the perils of seeking answers to questions that were never meant to be asked. It was a lesson that they would carry with them for the rest of their lives, a reminder of the thin line between knowledge and madness, that some mysteries are not meant to be solved. The forest had taught them that there are some things that are better left unknown, some secrets that are better left buried. It was a lesson that they would never forget, a haunting reminder of the dangers of seeking the unknown, and that the darkness, once seen, can never be unseen. The forest had opened their eyes to a world that they could never unsee, a world that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. It was a reminder of the thin line between light and darkness, between the known and the unknown, a haunting reminder of the mysteries that lie just beyond the edge of our understanding.